Do we understand the first point, please? Do we understand, please? The second one, subsidies increase the production and consumption of merit goods. What are merit goods? These are goods that without government intervention or without government providing it, we cannot all consume them. We call them merit goods. These goods, without government producing them, we can't all have them. Example is education. Just imagine without the public schools, a lot of people might not be able to afford the private school, yes or no? So if they are unable to afford the private schools, it means they won't be going to school. But for the fact that government has provided education, the public sector, it means everybody have access to school. So this is called a merit good. Another example is healthcare. We have the public hospitals, we have the private hospitals, yes or no? So for those who cannot afford the private hospitals, they can go to the public hospitals. So they have access to healthcare. So without government providing the healthcare, without government providing public hospitals, it means some people would not be able to afford it and they won't be able to have access to healthcare. Do we understand? So government spends on healthcare because it's a merit good. The third one, okay, now, however, subsidies might be too much or too little to solve the market failure. There's a market failure like education, we talked about it, right? But government, remember, government is not an economist. Government is an institution that governs the society. Most of the people in government might not have knowledge about economics, might not have knowledge about business. So that means decisions they make might not be ideal for that situation. You know, you can't give what you don't have. You can't give what you don't have, you know. So because they lack knowledge about economy, but they have to make decisions about the economy, they might be making the wrong decision. Do you get the point here? Yeah. So because they are making the wrong decision, they might be giving too much or too little.
They don't know.
Because they don't know. Not because they are wicked, but they don't know. So they are doing too much or doing too little to solve the problem that they want to solve. So when this happens, we call it government failure. But we're going to get there in the next, I think maybe in the next class. But you get the point I'm making here. So government will try to solve the problem of market failure. Maybe asymmetric information gap between consumers and producers. But in the course of solving that problem, putting more money into it, they might be spending too much or too little to solve the problem. Because too much, too little is a market failure. It has to balance. Do you understand the first problem about subsidy? The second one, there might be conflict with other government policy objectives. Government doesn't have any money. Money doesn't come from heaven. Government gets money through taxpayers. Do you get the point here? So that means we have to pay tax for government to generate revenue, which government would spend. So, because whatever government spending is on, it's a public good, which is non-excludable, non-rivalry. So it means there's always going to be free rider when government provides public goods. Yes or no? Good. Yes or no, please?
Yes.
Good. Because now, government is spending on the street light. Some people are going to enjoy the street light without even paying tax, isn't it? They have avoided tax or they've evaded tax. So which means the taxpayer money is used on street light, which not everybody paid for the street light. Then those taxpayers might have their own things that they want government to do, but government will not be able to do it because there's always opportunity cost. If government is spending more on education, government might not be able to spend on healthcare because of scarcity. There's always going to be opportunity cost for government spending. Now, the taxpayers want education, but government is providing healthcare. Do you see? The taxpayers, those that pay tax, actually want government to provide education or maybe provide healthcare, but government is providing the other thing. So which means government is trying to solve a problem which does not affect the taxpayers. Are the taxpayers going to be happy? No. So that means government did not solve the problem because government is spending on the wrong side. But it is not, because this is government policy. So there's always conflict of interest. Do you understand the second point here? The third one, subsidies can be difficult to remove as those who are benefiting from subsidy witnesses increase in their income. As soon as there's subsidy, it means you spend less. Yes or no? Look at the situation here some few months ago when government wants to remove subsidy on fuel. The whole society says what? No. Why? Because as soon as government removes subsidy, the pump price increases. This means your disposable income would reduce. You have to spend more. So subsidy might be difficult to remove, which is a problem. Because those that enjoy subsidy have reduced or have an increase in their income. How do they have increase in their income? They have increase in their income because they are supposed to spend maybe 7, but because of subsidy they are spending 3. So they have additional 4 to them. Do we understand? So these are all about subsidy. Any question about subsidy? Thank you. Yes? Economists. Those who take care about allocation of resources. Those who take care of the economy. Those who think about allocating resources to the right people at the right time. Because the resources are scarce. Stop that, please. There's a question here. The resources are scarce. Because resources are scarce, we need to economize. So in the course of economizing, we need to allocate resources at the right time to the right people. That's why we have what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce. So the economists are the ones that answer the questions of the economic problem. Not the government. Is it clear? Okay.